Welcome to the Beryl M762. Today we are going to take an in-depth look at the barrel and we will compare it with the AKM and the M416. The Beryl M762 is a Polish assault rifle that was designed and produced by Luznik Arms factory. In PUBG, this rifle will be available on all maps. Just as the name implies, it fires the 7.62 rounds from a base magazine of 30. It has a rate of fire of 0.86 seconds per shot or 11 shots per second. Each shot has a base damage rating of 47 points and it has a bullet speed of 715 meters per second. The speed and the rate of fire of the Beryl M762 can cause 548.3 points of damage per second. These stats are truly amazing, especially for a weapon that can equip 4 attachment slots. On top of this, the barrel can fire in single fire, burst or in fully automatic, making the weapon very versatile. The default spray pattern for the barrel has an overall deviation to the left and it swerves from left to right on the way up. If you crouch, then the deviation to the left will be reduced. It also affects the number of times that it swerves from left to right. For both the standing and the crouching spray patterns, the second shot has a fairly wide gap from the first shot. The second shot up to the fourth shot are very close together. From the fifth shot onwards, the spray pattern will swerve to the left and the gap between each shot will incrementally widen. If you go prone, then the spray pattern will swerve from left to right, but the overall deviation to the left will disappear. The barrel spray pattern with the compensator starts with the second shot having a significantly large gap from the first one. The second, third and fourth shots are much closer together now, and from the fifth shot onwards the pattern will look like a snake. It alternates from swerving left to right as the pattern moves up. If you crouch, the bullet pattern of the barrel is similar to the default pattern, except now the gap between each shot is reduced even further. If you can successfully control the recoil, then you'll get a spray pattern where after your first shot, the rest of your shots will be gathered in a small space just around the point that you're aiming. If you go prone with a compensator, then your spray pattern will be a straight line upwards. It has a very slight deviation to the left, but it's very easy to control. The barrel causes a high amount of damage to all hit areas. It will cause 51.7 points of damage to the upper chest. The belly button area will take 44.6 damage per shot, while the rest of the torso will take 47 points of damage per shot. A headshot will cause 110.4 damage without the helmet, and the neck will take 82.8 damage per shot for a 2-shot kill. The biceps and thighs will take 25.3 damage points, and this means that you will have to shoot your enemy 4 times. The forearms and shins will take 21.1 damage per shot, which means that you will need 5 bullets to kill. You will cause 12.6 damage for a shot to hands and feet, which means you will need 8 shots to kill. The barrel and the AKM both fire 7.62mm rounds from a 30 round base magazine capacity. However, the barrel will empty its magazine much faster. The AKM has a rate of fire of 0.1 seconds per shot or 10 bullets per second. This is slower than the barrel. The AKM does cause 49 base damage per shot, which is 2 points higher than the barrel. Shots from both of these weapons travel at a velocity of 715 meters per second. The AKM does have a disadvantage when it comes to damage per second, scoring only 490 points. That is 58.3 points lower than the barrel's rating. The AKM is ultimately less versatile than the barrel, since it only has 3 attachment slots for the muzzle, the magazine and the upper rail. However, the barrel has a higher base recoil than the AKM. If you can't find a foregrip, you will have a hard time controlling the barrel. People tend to go for the M416 if they want to have a versatile weapon, so it's worthy comparing it with the barrel. The M416 uses the 5.56mm rounds instead of the 7.62mm ones. They both have the same 30 round base magazine capacity and they have the same 0.086 seconds per shot rate of fire. The M416 causes 43 damage per shot, which is 4 points less than what the barrel can do. However, the M416 has a bullet speed rating of 880 meters per second. It is much easier to lead targets with the M416 than with the barrel. Ultimately, the M416 causes 502 damage per second, which is slightly lower than the barrel's rating. The M416 has less recoil than the barrel and it is more versatile since it has 5 attachment slots compared with the barrel who has only 4. Without a foregrip, the barrel is best used in close to mid-range combat situations so that you can keep hitting your target despite of having to deal with the recoil. You will have a DPS advantage over most SMGs except for the Vector. The iron sights are pretty good, so it's very easy to use. Once you do have attachments for the barrel, then you'll find that it can just handle about any situation depending on the combination of attachments that you have. For example, if you have a vertical foregrip, a compensator and a 4x scope, then you can engage in medium to long range firefights with great accuracy. If you like to use the burst firing mode in medium range engagements, then aim for the area between the abdomen and the chest. The natural pattern of the burst will automatically bring your crosshairs up to the head of your enemy. This will kill an unarmored enemy straight away, and enemies who did manage to find armor will need 2 bursts if all of your shots hit your enemy. The barrel is a very versatile weapon, so it's a good idea to pair this with the long range sniper rifle. If you have a lot of 7.62mm rounds, then the Kar 98K will work great together with the barrel. If you want to use 5.56mm rounds instead, then you can pick up the Mini 14 for example. It might not cause as much damage as the barrel, but it's much easier to use when you're leading your targets from far away. Do not be tempted to pair this weapon with the semi-automatic DMR that also fires the 7.62mm rounds, because the barrel can already hold its own at long range as long as you have the right attachments. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Beryl M762. And by the way guys, YouTube likes and comments are very helpful to me. If you think that this video is worthy, would you mind taking a moment to like and post a comment on this video? If you haven't done so, then please make sure to subscribe. This was Forever Gaming, thanks for watching, and I will see you in Battlegrounds.